and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. Hey. Hot tub. I'm full of water. I say hot tub. Hey. Hot tub. Hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Hey. Say hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Should I get the hot tub?
Yeah.
Really make me sweat?
Yeah.
Should I get the hot tub?
Yeah.
Really make me wet?
Yeah. Well. Josh texted me this morning at 5:43. Bless his heart. Won't be here this week. We'll be here next week. He's a hard-working man. I love that guy. Our new county AD. Following Hugh's footsteps, nobody could ever replace Tommy Santamont.
Yeah, right.
The Hall of Fame. It's not Bay County Hall of Fame, but the state of Florida Hall of Fame is recognizing. Bay County has never recognized Tommy Santamont, which is sad. But anyway, great to have you here, Tommy. How are you doing, sir?
I'm here is about all I can say.
You looking good. You looking better every time you show up. Get away from those animals. Leave them alone. You'll be well. And I've been calling. I've been talking to you. I've talked to some of the other elders. We're trying to change some things in these churches around here. That song we want be played at a certain church with a certain preacher walking in, and I want to be the one with the towel waving him down.
Oh,
they have not let me. They have not voted for that yet, Jeremy.
That I don't think I could see that one happening.
That'd be different. It'd wake people up.
It would.
Tell us what's going on at church.
Oh, we got a big wild game dinner coming up on Friday, March the 7th. That is fundraiser for all the mission components. You know, we feed so many children through Backpack Ministries to help them through the weekend when they don't have enough food at home, and food pantry because a lot of folks are dealing with the cost of groceries and such.
Oh, yeah.
And, breakfast that we have for kind of the homeless in the community. All the proceeds from this dinner go to help people right here, in our community in need. So you can check out the information on our church website or the Facebook page, First United Methodist Church.
So let me get this straight. The money's not sent off somewhere and they decide where it goes. It's spent right here in Bay County. I like that.
Yeah,
we will support that.
So March 7, 6 o'clock, we got silent auction, we got program activities, all kinds of wild game coming in. I mean, folks like Tommy and others who have gone out and they've been very generous to share. I heard, quail and dove and squirrels and alligator and I don't know what else.
You name possum.
You name it, possum, nutria.
I picked up a possum on the road the other day and gave it to him.
Yeah.
I heard it had my name. This is James' play. I don't know. I just hate we reward killers, but that's okay. Good. That's good, Tommy.
We got some great cooks to make it taste excellent, though.
It tastes like chicken, huh?
That's right.
I don't know if you know this. I want to bring this up real quick. Fox Nation's got a great special on Alabama. They had Coach DeBoer on yesterday, interviewed him live. I forgot what time it was on. I actually forgot what show, but it was on regular Fox News. And then I have not watched yet Fox Nation, the special on Alabama. My daughter, Jamie Hale's in it. I don't know what series she's on, but she's definitely in it. Also, Arnold Soccer, my goodness, what a great job they're doing. They win 2-0 over River Ridge. So, and I saw one of their kids push our player. They didn't do anything. The officials didn't see it. And they almost had a big fight over it. That guy should have been kicked out, and nothing was done. It kind of upset me. But anyway, Arnold got a shot to win the state championship this Saturday at 9 o'clock Central Time versus Tampa Jesuit.
The same team they beat last year, and both teams were in the lower class.
Yeah, and they both
moved up, and both. How's that happened in the state?
Tampa Jesuit is a private school.
That's right.
And I've known about them forever because we used to coach down in Southwest Florida. Really good at every sport. They got great. It's like going against an all-star team. Of course, Arnold's used to it.
My high school baseball coach is a Tampa Jesuit grad, Jim McKnight.
Jim McKnight, yes.
They just brought in more kids into Tampa Jesuit, especially soccer kids.
I'm asking all of you, please. This trip they're down there. They're not coming back. This trip's going to cost them $15,000 to $20,000. If any way you can go by Arnold High School, it doesn't matter if you get $5, $10, $100, whatever. And there might be another way you can just do it from home. That you have to call the school and ask about that. I don't have all that information, but I'm just asking you, please, especially if you live on Panama City Beach. Go by the school, give them some money. Again, it could be $5, whatever amount you can give. Just do it, because enough of us do it, they'll be able to really have a great experience and be able to pay the bills. Please do so. All right, let's turn into the day's show. We got so many great coaches on day. It's Thursday in North Bay Haven. Bobby Hughes is with us. We got Doug Lee at he's on the batter's deck right now and getting warmed up to come on with us. But Bobby, how you doing? I didn't get a chance to visit with you last week. I hope Jeremy treated you well.
Yeah, he did all right. He did pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah. Actually, we were listening. We were kind of listening. We were heading up to Birmingham early that morning, and got to listen to a little bit of it. And I told my wife, I said, he's got a lot of connections to Montgomery, Alabama, my hometown. And do you miss Montgomery, or are you okay down here?
No, I love it down here. I actually live there and here. So
your wife still?
She's finished up.
Yeah.
She's got 2 years left, and then she'll be retired, and I'll be here full time.
Well, we were asking, Jill and I were talking about, we were wondering if she could charge you for abuse with you down her and her up in Montgomery.
She loves coming here, man. She's looking forward to being here full time.
What part of Montgomery y'all live in?
We live over there close to Montgomery Academy, right there off.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah.
We got a good little spot. We've been there a long time. When I was playing college ball, at AUM.
Yeah.
I stayed when I got through.
Well, tell us what's going on. I hadn't talked to you. What's happened last couple games? Give us some names of players that are playing well.
Well, we got a few of them playing well right now. Tyler Simmons, he's playing shortstop and pitching. Jack Peden, our first baseman, he's pitching well, and Sam Compton. Those are three of our top seniors. The other two are, they hadn't played as much, but they're really good leaders for us. So we're doing real well right now. Desmond Fitzgerald's one of our other seniors, and Colin Forehand. So we got 5, but I've really only got 3 returning players, off last year's team.
Wow.
Hey, Bobby, Jeremy, good morning. How are you, buddy?
All right, man.
Well, we were catching up last night. You had the win up at Cottondale, but I was laughing because it sounded like you had the opportunity to remember some of that Alabama High School Athletic Association officiating when you were up there playing the Bears. And,
we played at Cottonwood. They tried to take it from us, tried to homer us. and the last inning, man, and I almost come unglued, but I kept it together.
Looked like a football score.
Yeah, we were up 6-7 runs in the last inning, and then they tried to take it from us, making up some calls that really wasn't there. And when you're in that situation, man, it's pretty tough.
Wow. That Florida line looked good to get back across it with a win then.
Yeah. But Coach does a good job there at Cottonwood, and we've always played them. And our kids fought through and found a way to win. And, when you're starting 4 and 5 8th graders with those seniors, those things are going to happen. You just got to find a way to fight through it. And I thought our guys did a good job doing that.
Well, a 13-12 ball game, I mean, that's kind of a slugfest. And like you said, you got to hold on to wins. So a win's always good. I mean, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty any day. You're very fortunate tonight. I mean, you get to go over to Destin, and while it's going to be cold everywhere else, I know it's always 75, pleasant, and sunny in Destin. So you're going to bundle up this evening.
Oh, yeah. I was running a little late this morning because I had to pack so much stuff in my bag. I had so many long johns in there and jackets. I was like, man, it's going to be cold tonight. And I'm getting old, too. I'm not young like I used to be.
Well, a lot of places are trying to move up ball games, but y'all weren't able to do that or didn't do that?
No, the umpires, they couldn't get the umpires there early enough, playing at 6, so we got to play at 6. We were trying to play at 4, but they couldn't get the umpire there early enough, so...
How is Destin? I mean, the teams over there are so good. South Walton's incredible. How good is Destin? Are they still kind of young, building, or are they pretty solid? What do you think about Destin?
They're pretty solid. I heard they have one guy that throws pretty good, throws pretty well, in the upper 80s. They're in the association, I believe. I think the last few years they were kind of just getting into the association. But now I think they're in a district where they get to go play in the playoffs. Before, I don't think they did.
Yeah.
But shoot, they got a lot of talent over there. Coach Bonilla, they do a good job, and it'll be a really good game. Every game we play is going to be a tight game. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Who you throwing tonight?
I'm probably going to throw a variety of kids.
Still early.
Try to mix it up. Go through their lineup one time and go to the next guy.
Yeah.
Trying to mix it up on them and give them a different look.
Are you trying to pitch by committee because it's still kind of early and working the kids up, as far as pitch counts and all that, or is it just kind of more of a strategy to keep many arms available?
Well, it's a little of both. It's a little of both because some of the guys don't have as much stuff, so you have to do a good job coaching, knowing when to get them in and out. And then also I'm looking at, pitch count too on some of them because I'm trying to stretch them out. I think we're stretching the starters out at 65 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them hit that wall quicker than others, and you have to know that as a coach, and knowing when it's time to get them out of there, when it starts flattening out. Or
they don't make them like they used to, do they, Bobby? And just throw for a week.
Yeah.
We always look to the bench, and there wasn't anybody else over there. Let's go, Hughes, get them out, boy. Let's go now.
Ultimate baseball.
Tommy.
You know what?
So I'm looking, Destin's only got the one game under the belt. They did take on a pretty tough Bozeman team, got run ruled, and you look across their schedule, they're kind of playing a Class A through sort of 4A. I mean, Choctaw is on there, Freeport, kind of then Franklin, Baker. So I think you're right, Bobby. I think they're trying to, kind of make their way in and be, full part of FHSAA stuff.
Is North Bay Haven and Bozeman in the same district this year? I didn't hear last week what district you're. Well, I didn't know what district you're in this year.
We're not in the same district anymore. We're in there with Rutherford, Bay, and Gadsden, and us.
Wow, that's pretty competitive.
I think Bozeman is a step below us.
Yeah.
In divisions, I think that's right.
Yeah. Well, that district you're in, that's not. Hey, Bay's got it turned around. They're playing really well now. That's a tough district.
It is. For us, it's a lot easier than. I'm not saying it's not
right.
A tough district. It's a lot easier for us than it was last year when we were in there with Catholic, Clay, and all those schools.
Walton,
that are very huge. Florida High,
Yeah.
But it's more. All of us are about the same. Maybe one team might be a little bit better than the other, but all of us are about the same type of talent. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Great talking to you again. You handled Jeremy really well last week. I think you hold your own against him, and that's tough to do. So thank you for that.
Hey, you stay warm tonight.
Hey, good luck to you.
Appreciate you having me on.
All right, buddy. Thank you, sir. Bobby Hughes, head baseball coach, North Bay Haven, does a really good job. Jeremy, you've known him quite a while, right?
Yeah, way back to our playing days, back in the 90s there. And then I had several of his games when he was at Montgomery Catholic officiating, and both up that way. So I'm glad to have him in the area. I know he's glad to be back in the area. So
yeah, and I hope he stays there for a while. They've had so many coaching changes at different sports over there. I hope they stick with the ones they got some good ones now. I hope they stick with them. And I think they will.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they will. Just like I know Jay Michaels. Everything they do is incredible. Today's special, jambalaya, go check it out. They got the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary Jay Michaels. Also, don't forget about South Oak Title and Closing for all your real estate closing. Do what the experts do. Do what Mark Coward. He sells multi-million-dollar homes. The guy's incredible. Only place he'll go, South Oak Title and Closing, and so should you. They do an incredible job. Just like Stevenson Air Conditioning. I love Jason. If we don't care how cold it's going to be tomorrow, 28, 29 degrees, we're ready for it. No problem. Our house is warm, feels great, and it doesn't run all night either. That's because I went with Stevenson Air Conditioning. I'm with the most honest guy I know. Locals taking care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Number one, not even close. Get it serviced about every 6 months. It'll run more efficiently. It'll save you money with your power bill. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. We ask all of you to pray for Ryan Mulvey. Please continue to do so. The surgery went well. Everything went really good. He's recovering. Best up there right beside him, and we'll let you know how everything's going, but we'll continue to ask you to pray for him. And Michigan Eddie. He is also going through a little health issue. But he's mean. He's going through a mean spurt period.
He's having that meanness removed. Meanness removal operation.
He needs that meanness removed. But anyway, get back. One of the legendary coaches in any sport across the Panhandle of Florida, the one and only Doug Lee. Looking forward to talking to him. Haven't talked to him this year yet. Great coach. Doug Lee, Mosley High School. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, college basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming,
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a blustery wind out of the north at 16 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 14 miles per hour and be at freezing at 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Some sun Saturday with a temp of 59. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And that's the biggest house I've seen.
Yeah.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Again, we're asking for your help. We got a team here in Bay County playing for the state championship this Saturday. I think they start right at our time is at 9 o'clock Central Time, 9. Of course, it's 10 o'clock Eastern down in Auburndale. Arnold soccer team going for the state championship against Tampa Jesuit. I believe they're staying down there. They need resources. So if you could, any way, you can go by Arnold High School, drop off $5, $10, $20, $50. In Tommy's case, $100. We certainly appreciate that and help them the best you can. And if you want to call the school and ask how you can get the money there some other way, please feel free to do that. Appreciate your support. And 191 days to Alabama FSU. Cannot wait. But we bring him back. I've always thought when I moved here over 25 years ago, he was the best coach in any sport. We tried our best to quietly steal him away from Mosley. It couldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. I tried. He laughed at me. But now I've forgiven him. The one and only Doug Lee. Coach Lee, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Coach Hale. Good to talk to you.
Do you remember that over at Triple J's, sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? It seemed like that was 25 years ago. Can you believe that?
I know. I do. I remember it very vividly.
You don't age. You still look good. You ain't changed a bit.
I don't know about that. My knees tell me different.
I got to ask you, though. I mean, you were out of it for a while. You left, you were a legend. You went, state championship winner. You get back in it, and it's had to change. Everything changes, and you're rebuilding. Which do you feel? Do you feel young enough? I mean, you feel good about it? Do you still love it like you used to?
Well, I do love it now. My passion, I don't know if my passion will ever change. I think my wife would like my passion to change about baseball, but I don't know if my passion will change. I love the game very dearly, and of course, I love Mosley High School tremendously, and I'm having fun with it. Honestly, I really am. I'm enjoying it. It's a grind. You kind of forget about that grind that it takes. But, we're out here right now looking at the field, starting to work on it for today's game. So it's just all the things that goes into it. And, it's changed a lot. It has changed to some degrees. But, in my opinion, the kids have not changed. The game's not changed too much. Other than, you have all the data that goes along with it, technology and launch angle versus downhill playing with the swing and all that kind of stuff. So there are some changes since I've been in it, but, the passion definitely is still there.
I got to ask you this because you've been in it for so long and you know it as well as anybody. You're the best at it. But the coaches we have here in baseball at this time, to me, it's incredible. We got some great baseball coaches.
Yeah, second to none. I mean, every school has very good baseball coaches at it right now, and I have a lot of respect for every one of them and for their programs and what they do. And so, I mean, Bay County is blessed in that arena for sure with baseball programs in Bay County. And
you're kind of rebuilding this year. I mean, I'm just telling how about my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like you're rebuilding because you should kind of your first year or. Not really. You did it last year a little bit. But with school of choice and things like that, do you still see people wanting to come to Mosley? Because in the past, people wanted to come over there and play for you.
I think that's still left to be determined for folks or whatever. I guarantee you, I think we'll work harder. We're going to work hard at it and get after it every day. And we're going to try to do everything we can for obviously we're going to make decisions what's best for the team first and then the individual second, but we do want to take a lot of pride in developing players and getting the most out of them. And, we went into this the whole time saying we're going to go through some growing pains. We're really young. I think last night or Tuesday night, I think we had like 5 or 6 sophomores at the very end that had a freshman close the door, as far as coming in at our bullpen. So, we're really young. I would say this really is the youngest team in probably the last 25 years, and I'm not really exaggerating on that. But with that being said, I really was really pleased with our effort Tuesday night at Arnold, even though we came a little short. But I felt like we grew up a lot in that game, too, and that's kind of what the message has been to our team is we're going to go through growing pains, but if we can continue to grow up each and every day, we can go out on this field and I really believe we got a chance at season end to be a team that's got to be, dealt with.
Doug, Jeremy, good morning. How are you?
Hey, Jeremy, good.
Good. You talked about Arnold there. 2 big games, rival early, obviously dropped them both, not the outcome you wanted, but you've hit on several points I think are critical that this is a grind. It's a long season. Baseball's about when you peak, particularly close to the postseason and bringing these younger guys in. But what's your takeaways from putting those kids in 2 big game environments, huge crowds, huge coverage early as far as developing them and getting them ready for the stretch run here?
Well, I think if you go back to Saturday's game, obviously we were seeing Cooper, and I mean, you're going to be very limited in the opportunities to score when he's on the mound, and I thought the first inning we came out, and I always feel like with your starting pitcher, and it's always that first inning, and I've seen that as an umpire, even at the Division I level. If you can get that starter through that first inning and without much damage, then he usually settles down and can get in the flow of the game. And I thought that was going to be key to some degree. And, I thought our nerves really, we talked about playing relaxed and, hey, pressure's on them, all the things that need to be said. But at the end of the day, when you got to go out there in between those lines, you still got to be able to handle that pressure and the anxiety and the nervousness that comes with it from that first pitch. And so I thought we were a little tight to begin the game. Even took a trip in the first inning to kind of try to settle us down. But I think that's what I'm talking about as far as when the growing pains. And then I felt like Tuesday we didn't show those signs as much. And I think just the more we give them those, put them in those kind of tests and put them in those kind of environments with crowds and, playing very good ball clubs and programs like Arnold and Coach Jones, the better we're going to be later on in the year. And even down the road, not just about this year, but next year and the years to come.
And you stay in county, big game today. I understand y'all moved that up. Is that right?
We have moved it to 4 o'clock just because the frigid weather's coming in later tonight.
And Bay coming across town. So kind of staying in that same environment here with a chance to kind of pick up an in-county game.
Absolutely. And again, Bay High is very good and is off to a great start to 4-0. And again, the job that Coach Hudson's done over there has been tremendous. And so it's going to be another great test. We can't feel sorry about ourselves for the last 2 games. We got to get ready to go and get refocused and locked back in. So, I have a lot of confidence in our kids and the kids in this clubhouse, and I really believe they'll be ready to go and we'll get after it today.
Hey, Doug, Tommy Sandemont, good morning.
Hey, Mr. Sandemont, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Listen, Doug, what about your pitching staff? Do you have any young players coming up you think is going to be really good as far as pitching?
Well, most of our pitch staff, except we've got 3 seniors. One of them started Tuesday night, Chase Wood, who's going to Enterprise. He's a senior. We got Christian Zedeker and Peyton Stokes, who comes out of the bullpen. But other than that, we're all underclassmen. Yeah. Carter Payne, who's kind of been labeled as our number 1 between him and Ryan Harless. Carter's a junior, Ryan's a sophomore. You throw in Brady Lee and Fletcher Taylor. Hunter Bolger gave us 2 quality innings the other night. He's a junior. All these kids are underclassmen who will be back next year. And then Derek Ortiz is a freshman that, we just said, hey, we're going to go in there and put him in the game Saturday. He pitched really well, and so he went back out Tuesday. So I really feel good about our bullpen, when we don't give up free bases and pitch to contact and all the things. So I think we have enough arms. Again, we just we got to manufacture runs and put pressure on the other team.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you something. Tommy said, because I want to ask him something real quick. I just think you got a great advantage over a lot of people. You used to officiate. I don't know if everybody out there in the radio land knows this, but you used to officiate not professional, but college baseball. So you know all these college coaches. And to get a kid a scholarship now is so much more difficult than it used to be because, they can go get another college player. They don't have to take a high school kid. Have you talked to some of these college coaches you know? Have y'all ever had that discussion? Or do you think you have some influence maybe to switch a guy's opinion at the college level? Hey, take this kid from Mosley. I'm guaranteed he can get it done. Hit on that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel good about the relationships I did establish as an umpire with some of these coaches. Obviously, it was a different relationship, so you kind of keep that professionalism as an umpire-coach relationship. Totally different from a coach-to-coach relationship, obviously, in the recruiting process. But, I do have some relationships from that experience and feel very comfortable making phone calls to guys. And, the recruiting process is changing, obviously with every sport, with the NCAA, with this NIL and all the things, transfer portal. And, I'm really concerned about high school seniors at times getting that opportunity to go to Division I when they can get a, 20-year-old, 21-year-old out of the transfer portal who's got 2 years experience at Division I level. So, I think there's some disadvantages with that for high school guys. And then the roster reduction from 40 to 34. So all those factors come into this, but obviously I feel very comfortable. There's enough coaches I know that, hey, we got a guy that I really feel like he needs to get looked at or should be seen or whatever. I don't have a problem picking up the phone and saying, hey, this is a guy you need to get or anything like that, and feel very comfortable in that area. So, I like the guys on this roster, and I know we've got some guys that are going to play at the next level here at Mosley, and they're going to continue to develop and get better each and every day.
Doug, do you think you'll see more and more across the board, not just baseball, the different sports, kids going Division III, Division II, which is great competition? I mean, nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Well, I tell our kids all the time. I mean, we put such emphasis on Division I and the pro track that, listen, I mean, if you go right now and go play at the Panhandle Conference, that's one of the best junior college conferences in the country, and I've umpired in that league and played that league. And a lot of times the national championship comes out of that league. That champion comes out of that league. So, to stay home and get a chance to be a Commodore or an Indian or, any of those teams there, in that conference, those schools right there produce a lot of Division I major college prospects and a lot of guys that play in the big leagues from those programs. So that is not always the wrong decision. And I've tried to explain that to our kids that, I know everybody's dream is to get to the big league and play pro baseball, but don't miss the mark that, hey, part of that stepping stone may be going through the Panhandle Conference.
Doug, thank you so much for coming on. Great talking to you again. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck to you. And tell your brother I said hello.
I will. I appreciate it. I'm going to put him to work.
You need to. All right, buddy. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate all y'all do.
Thank you, buddy. The great Doug Lee. I tell you what, as far as discipline, commitment, work ethic, the guy's incredible. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend. The legendary doctor, 25 years he's been on the sideline taking care of Bay County athletes. You don't see that anymore anywhere. But he has people from all over the Southeast come down here to him operate on. He does the old-fashioned way. He does it by robotic. He can do it all. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you have any type of injury, call, make an appointment, go see Chad Mitchell. See the best. That is Chad Mitchell, the legend. Also, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. The guy is also incredible on the radio. I have a son and daughter. We just talked to one of the greatest coaches around, Doug Lee, how tough it is to get scholarship. You want your son and daughter to have an edge, and every way across the board, academically, go talk to him. They can tell you what you should be eating, about what sport you play, what you shouldn't, what nutritions you need to take, what can help you get bigger, stronger. The guy's incredible. That's Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Listen to him tomorrow right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Also, Paparazzi Pizza. You love pizza, it's the only place to go. Tommy, Louise, and Julie and I, we love going down there. Get the lunch special. 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink for $11 and change. You can't beat it. Try the bakery. The cakes are incredible. Try the Paradise Cake. You'll never get anything but that. It's incredible. And they got great lasagna is unreal. They got a bar there. Paparazzi Pizza on Thomas Drive. Check it out. We think you'll love it. Whew. We're right back. 104.3. We get back. We got the legend, Tommy Santamont, FSU, brought to you by Newbies. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Imagine this. You step onto a beautiful boat, the sun on your face, a drink in your hand, and no boat payments, no maintenance, and no stress. Carefree Boat Club of Panama City is giving you the chance to join with $0 down. No upfront membership fee, just unlimited boating. Hurry, this $0 new membership drive won't last long. Call 850-964-6400 or visit carefreeboats.com. Start living the boat life without the boat hassle. Carefree Boat Club. Boating made easy.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU update brought to you by the legendary Miss Newbies. We have 4 wonderful locations. Newbies 2 on the Curve. I think Newbies been established. I want to say like 50 years now. The legendary place. I had a cousin, I loved him, and I didn't see him much for years. They live up outside of Gaston, Holmes Bluff, up in that way, and I looked at his Facebook and I see all these times he's been down here to Newbies. Now, this is way back. This wasn't like last summer or something. And I was like, dog, we've been here 25 years and we didn't even call each other. Everybody goes to Newbies in the summertime. It's like a meeting place. You see people you hadn't seen in years. The legendary Miss Newbies. But also, don't forget Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all sporting events. They had a great crowd there for the Super Bowl. John and Charlotte always give back to the community. We need to go support all 4 of their locations. The new one over in St. Andrews, that beautiful blue building. Go check it out. I think you have a great time there. Go watch the sporting events. Head down to Mothership. Jace, they're going to have the best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Charlotte always does that. So go have a great time at Newbies. Tell them Coach sent you. Tommy, what do you have for us? You know, it's 191 days until Alabama at FSU.
Where are they going to play? The stadium's not going to be ready. They're going to play out there on the band where the band practice. That's where they're going to play.
What are they going to do, really?
I'm kidding.
No, but I've heard that it could not.
It will be ready. It will be ready.
All right. Okay. Let's move it to I don't want to go to Jacksonville. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Baseball, FSU right now is 4-0. They beat USF this past Tuesday 4-1 down in town, but that was their first away game. They opened a 3-game series with Penn starting Friday, February the 21st at 5 o'clock, Saturday the 22nd at 2 o'clock, and Sunday, February 23rd at 1 o'clock. And so that will be this week. If you want to go to a baseball game, they've been having sellout crowds. James Madison, when they played them, they were sold out all the games. So they got a lot of big hype going on with the baseball team. Softball is also playing very well. They're 8-1 right now. They lost to Oklahoma State down in Mexico, but they came back and run-ruled Oklahoma State in the final game of that when they met them again down in Mexico. They're ranked anywhere. You see number 4, number 8. They got different, with all the different people who rank them. The highest I've seen is 4. This week they come back and play in the Joanne Graff Classic in Tallahassee, and boy, they're gonna play some games. They got Florida A&M on tonight. Matter of fact, at 3:30, and then Friday they have Southeast Louisiana playing a doubleheader at 3 and 5:30, and then Saturday, this will be the game. You're going to see we'll see what FSU has. They play Texas A&M, which is around right 4 or 5, 6, somewhere in that area. They play them Saturday with a doubleheader at Saturday, February the 22nd at 3 o'clock.
Where's that game at?
It's in Tallahassee.
Okay, wow.
In Tallahassee. And so they're going to play a doubleheader with Southeast Louisiana and Texas A&M. So that's 4 games they're going to play in 2 days. So we'll see what kind of pitching they come up with to play against Texas A&M, because they've got a really good team. They're playing well. Basketball, Miami. They played Miami last night. They beat Miami 74-66. They have beat Miami 14 of the last 15 times they played.
Wow. Which is an incredible run in that series.
Yeah, they just got
I didn't
their
realize
number.
that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they're 16-10 right now. And we all know that Leonard Hamlin this last season. And the only bad thing, they've got their remaining games. They at Louisville, they at North Carolina. They play North Carolina in Tallahassee. Play at Duke and at Virginia. So and then SMU. So they got some really tough games to finish up. Hopefully, they'll end up with a winning season. They should. So we'll see. And then, of course, they got the ACC tournament March 11th through the 15th in Charlotte. Women's basketball, they're 20-6 right now, and they've got Pitt tonight at 5:00. If you want to go over see women's basketball, not girls, women's basketball at 5:00 in Tallahassee tonight. They'll be playing Pitt. And they are, like I say, 20-6. They're not even ranked in the top 25. They're down probably 26 or 27, I imagine. But they finished the regular season. They got a tough 3-game. They play at Georgia Tech, which they're ranked number 20 right now. And Georgia Tech's tough when you have to go up there. Then they play at Notre Dame, who is number 1. And then they play Duke in Tallahassee. Duke's number 11.
Wow.
So they got a tough finish to the season. So it's going to be tough on them. But they're playing well. Their better player got hurt, but I think she's back now. So we'll see. Football is football. It's just like everybody else. They got people coming in visiting. They're setting up, trying to get the 2026 off to a good start. And I think they got 3 kids that's pretty much going to commit to FSU in the 2026 season. So they're going in out. And I've heard a lot of good stuff about Malzahn and White, the defensive coordinators.
Did you see where they both were ranked? They ranked the coordinators. They were both in the top 10
they were.
in the country.
Yeah.
So Gus got a lot of love. He's like number 5.
Yeah. And the kids, that's good, but because the kids really, they look at stuff like that, and hopefully they can get, as they say, developed. So that's the key thing that a lot of kids are thinking about. Of course, money speaks a lot, as we know.
Yeah.
But anyway, they've got a lot of good players coming in, and used to be 3 and 2 stars. Now most of them 4 stars. They got coming in there to visit.
You got a phone call. Let's take this. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Coach Boone, what are you doing? The legend. What are you doing, Big Daddy?
I'm fine. I'm just riding down the road here, and I hear y'all talking about Florida State, and Tommy's doing such a good job. I was just last night was watching some old replays of the 1999 and 2000 Florida State football teams, and I just forgot how great a teams those were. Yeah. Everybody on that team that started at Florida State signed a pro contract. It was crazy.
Yeah, those days seem like so long ago now. I mean, seriously, last year, did last year shock you?
Yes, it really did. Yes and no. The culture, they just need to get it back. The NIL and all this other stuff, transfer portal. I don't know. It's just crazy. They didn't ever recover.
Conrad, I think Norville said that vetting those kids, they didn't do a very good job, because they got they got some kids that were not playing with a full deck. I mean, they were not team players. I think that hurt them a lot too.
Yeah, as I've heard Coach Malley say a lot of times, they recruited a lot of characters instead of kids with characters.
Are you playing? Did you play golf this morning?
No, I had a doctor's appointment early this morning.
Oh, okay. You doing good?
Oh, yeah, just a checkup.
Oh, good, man. I tell you what, I remember watching a highlight film of this kid that we knew him. He went to Georgia, and he was playing Auburn. He looked pretty good. They ran that counter tray, and that guy could play. And then I tried to hire him, and he wouldn't come over. And his name was Conrad Moon. I did. I saw it. Did you ever show Tommy that tape?
No, I don't even know where that is now. That was the best game I ever played as a football player.
You did good. I was impressed, man. What number are you? 76?
79.
79.
79 for a while and 75 for a while. I couldn't make up my mind. It just depends what was going on. That was Auburn. I always had a fond memory of that, even though it was what's his name, Pat Sullivan.
Yeah.
Terry Beasley. No, we lost the game, but I graded out 94% that day.
Whoa!
So it was real good.
Was that game played at Auburn or at Georgia? I can't remember.
No, it was in Athens. Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the game, we had Sullivan threw a pass to Beasley, and two of our defensive backs had it covered. One of them hit each other, knocked each other off. Beasley comes down with the ball, scores a touchdown, and they beat us by 4.
Conrad, I grew up watching him play in Montgomery. He played at Robert E. Lee. Lanier, we'd won 3 state championships in a row, and then Lee won, I think, the two after that, maybe 3 too. 2 for sure. He was if you think he was good in college, in high school, it was like a man playing with boys. He was unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable player.
Well, I also got to sit on the sidelines because I was on offense, and Mr. Manning was on offense. We played Ole Miss, and Archie Manning was playing against us. That was quite a sight to see too.
Yeah, I bet.
And Conrad, you had a son that wasn't too bad either.
No, he was the best football player in the family, that's for sure.
Hey, let me tell you what I did. We were over on the beach, and Jared was in there, and Julie, they love. He is a good-looking guy. He really is. He's pretty.
Thank his mama.
So I texted Conrad. I said, Conrad, you need to hit your wife. I just saw your son. He's too pretty. Conrad said, I'm going to shoot you.
Too pretty to be my son, right?
I did. Anyway. Hey, listen, we got to take a break. You got to go?
Yeah, I'm going down the road. I just want to call and just try to let Tommy remember, if you can, pull up some of those games in 99, 2000. You just forget how great a foot Florida State was back then.
All right, Conrad. Thanks, buddy, for calling,
talking to you, Conrad.
Take care, everybody.
All right.
The great one, Conrad Mood, Hall of Famer, Conrad Mood. Jared is a good-looking boy now. He is a good-looking kid. He's a grown man now. I can't call him a kid, but you watch his highlight tape.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say in front of Conrad. It's a different level. Conrad's highlight compared to his son is, I'm sorry. It's just, but Conrad was good. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's talk about some other things. Talk about good. Turpro Pest Control. Pat, I was walking yesterday. Pat was out in his truck. He stopped the truck. We walked for an hour and talked. Just had a great time. You want your yard to look beautiful. He can make it happen. You don't want to deal with pests and all that kind of stuff. Turpro Pest Control, #1. Not even close. Call Patrick. He'll come out and do a great job. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We got some great doctors around here. We got some legendary doctors. Dr. Ward's is incredible. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Women, breast cancer, skin cancer are the two they really have to be concerned about. It takes 5 minutes to make sure. It can save your life. He's got offices everywhere throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Dr. Ward. Listen to him every Wednesday, 7:30, if his phone's working. We had a crack-up phone yesterday.
Well, he was on the move.
Yeah, he's always on the move. He's always on the move. Also, I love my great friends down at David Adamson. I love Russ. I love Amber. They do a great job. Tommy's bought stuff there. I've bought a lot there. You have.
I've had custom-made jewelry.
I don't know. Jeremy's just not. I don't know what the deal is. He's got 2 beautiful daughters, a gorgeous wife.
Church needs to pay more.
Should we try to ask him, or should we embarrass him, or just what? The next time I see him, I'm going to ask him, Jeremy, have you been down to David
Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77. Hey, take your watch down there.
The look I'm getting is not a good one.
I'm going to send you their travel invoices.
Anyway, get down there. They always got a great deal going on, right?
Yeah, they do. And, it's that time of year when you want to get your battery changed on your watch and things like that. So take it in there, take your jewelry in there, let them look at it, make sure all of your precious stones are secured and stuff like that. They'll clean it for you. They'll appraise your jewelry. And if you want, they'll buy your jewelry right there at David Adamson Jewelers, Designer Jewelers on Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
And if you buy enough, I think Amber go out there and change your oil in your car while you're waiting.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever you need.
they're great. Customer service is unbelievable there. I love
Great
us.
people to hang out with.
We'll be right back. Talking about great people, I got the greatest in here. Tommy Santamite, Jeremy Pridgeon, and Wildcat on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Later today, we'll have all you want to know about Auburn Tigers. Andy Burcham, 8:15, War Eagle.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Yeah.
So now we're getting half of the playoff money that everybody else.
But it doesn't matter, though. Rob, it doesn't matter what the ACC won Big 12 because the other two conferences, they don't care. They own the network.
Well, that's why I'm saying is that the only fair way to do this is to have 2 or 3 big conferences and the hell with everybody else.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a blustery wind out of the north at 16 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 14 miles per hour and be at freezing at 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Some sun Saturday with a temp of 59. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore our vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call now, 850-583-0814.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah. Good song there.
All right.
What band is that, Tommy? Tommy? Put your headsets on. What? Tell us what group is this singing?
Beatles.
How'd you know? Good job.
Doobie Brothers.
The Doobie Brothers. You don't remember the Doobie Brothers? You know, for a second I thought it was Chicago when it first started out, but that was the Doobie Brothers.
Same era, same kind of flavor to it.
I remember back in the day, man, back early 70s.
Brings back memories, huh?
Yeah,
and
I don't listen
trouble for
memories.
Music.
Like the
oh my God!
You're talking about FSU. It made me think of something when you brought up baseball. I'm so grateful that we got a really good baseball coach at Florida State. They're going to have a really good year. He could really do something special. He won at Notre Dame, played FSU, everything. But there are two people I'm glad for, and that's Bill Allen and our mayor, Greg Bernicki, or former mayor. I can still call him the mayor, because they were so. They know baseball, and they made their voices be heard. They wanted to change. They got the change. They got who they wanted. In the first year, we were giving them a hard time because things weren't going very well. Now things are going like they need to go.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure Bill and the mayor are really happy and proud of themselves. Football-wise, they're gonna have to get on the football and get the football straightened out, which I think they will. I think next year could be a chance to be pretty good. But again, we got 191 days before FSU versus Alabama in Tallahassee. Cannot wait for that. And we had mentioned that about the stadium, if it's going to be ready. Somebody did the report yesterday. I think it was Glenn, and they were talking about that is kind of a concern. Weather, all kinds of things could happen. They want to get that thing completed. It's going to be beautiful when it's done. It's going to be a smaller stadium. It's going to cost more money to get into there. But if they did have to move it, which they won't, they played it last year when they were still.
Oh, it'll be ready. One way.
You know
it will be ready.
Okay. So
well, hopefully they're not using the same construction company that they're using on 390.
They got about 3 different construction.
They're using the ones that working on Back Beach Road near Pier Park.
On 390. No, okay.
Yeah, they've been working on that road for 25 years, it seems like. Unbelievable. I do want to remind everybody, please pray for Ron Mulvey. Everything went really well during surgery, good reports. Everything's looking good right now. Keep them thoughts and prayers. Wonderful family. Bess up there with him. Also, Arnold gets it done yesterday over in Polk County at Auburndale. They beat River Ridge 2-0. They're going to play for the state championship Saturday, 9 o'clock Central Time, Tampa Jesuit. And if you could please find it in your heart to go by Arnold High School, give a little bit of money, whatever you can. This trip's going to cost them between $15,000 and $20,000. They're down there. They're not going to come back and forth. So please help out as much as you possibly can. We certainly appreciate that. Other news, Fox Nation, if you didn't see it yesterday, Coach DeBoer was on national TV on the Fox regular news channel, and they're doing a special on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Really good. I think it's called The Tide That Binds, something like that.
Yeah.
Did you see the commercial?
I saw it, yeah.
And the reason I keep talking about Jamie's going to be, she has to sign a waiver for her to be in it, and I don't know what episode she'll be in. I don't know how long. It might be for 1 second. I'm not sure, but she's going to be in it. So you can watch that. I think you're going to release one once a week or something like that. All right, I want to talk to you. Talk about one of our other local schools that doing really well.
The winter sports are winding up. Of course, good luck to the Arnold boys. But I also want to give a shout out to the Rutherford Rams girls basketball team. They are playing in the regional final tomorrow night. Tough draw as always when our schools have to go over and play in Jacksonville and play. They're playing bowls. They play at I think 7 Eastern, 6 Central tomorrow night. So good luck to the Lady Rams, and hopefully they can punch their ticket to the Final Four.
All right, let me ask you both this and just kind of think about it for a minute. Give your opinion. Wildcat, you can jump in if you'd like to. Give us a call if you want to. 215-6290. Could the Big Ten and the SEC, with all their power, could they damage college football? They are the power of the college football. They own all those TV networks. They make more money than anybody else. We get the revenue sharing. You would obviously think the Big Ten could pay the players more and the SEC compared to
Could they or have they?
Yeah, I think they have been. But then again, the reason I ask you, could they be damaging college football? We're seeing now that all these kids are not staying. They're not staying being developed. Their second team at Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, some of these big-time programs are going to other schools, smaller schools, or maybe not as big as name of a school, and those teams are playing well. Arizona State made the playoffs. Boise State, SMU, those teams are doing pretty well. What I'm getting at, TV sales. TV runs everything. People watch the Big Ten. People watch the SEC. The SEC is making ABC wealthy. They knocked out of the ballpark with their TV deal. That's the reason they'd like to see a 9 SEC game and not 10. And they'd like to see Alabama, Ohio State game. They want to see a crossover, Big Ten versus SEC. But the coaches and ADs know if they don't get a guarantee of so many teams in, why would you do this? You do it for the money, but you also put your league at risk, and you also put the head coach at risk for keeping his job. Because at Alabama and at Georgia and at LSU and at Texas, they want you winning championships. They want you winning 11 games plus a year. And Jeremy, going forward, when you got 9 SEC games, you're playing a crossover game against Ohio State, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, whoever it's going to be, it's going to be hard to win 10 games a year at Alabama. It's going to be hard to win 10 games at Georgia. You can still only win 9 games. I think the Florida is the only school that could win 9 games next year and get in the playoffs because of their schedule. Did you see who they got 5 games in a row with? It is crazy.
Yeah. You know, I've told this story a few years ago, but I got to hear former SEC Commissioner Roy Kramer speak. And he was one that really, if you want to see who engineered all the changes going back even to 92 and the start of the SEC championship game, you can thank Kramer. He went to 12 championship, all of that. He's speaking, and he was their group of rabid football fans, Alabama Auburn fans, and he said, "I want to tell all of you here a secret." I mean, you can see everybody lean in, and everybody's going to listen to what this great secret from Roy Kramer is going to be for this speech. He said, in every one of our games, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
No joke.
That's good. That's
I mean, he had everybody's attention as he set that up. And to your point, you can't win 11 games and do what you're describing.
No, you can't.
You can't. Something's going to give in the expectations. And are you going to want to have to go through high-profile coaching searches where you're going to have these exorbitant buyouts?
Staff. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so something has to give in this. And the expectations that, hey, we went 9-4 and won the conference and got into the playoff is more of an NFL concept than anything college related.
More and more to do exactly what they're doing. Well, you can't blame them. They own a day of the week.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. If they go to 14 games, and that's what the SEC Big Ten, I think, is pushing for, they're going to have to get a guarantee of 4 automatic bids, and they want it to be by the rankings, throw out the conference champs. It doesn't matter anymore. When we said that before they did this, we said you're making a mistake. All conferences are not created equal. They should not get a bye. They should not jump up over another team. It should have gone by the rankings. They didn't listen. And you know what? They want it changed now, but it's not going to happen. The power that they have, SEC and Big Ten commissioner, it's not going to get changed in 2025. You know why? Because in their bylaws, everybody votes for it. Why would the group of 5, the ACC, Big 12, why would they ever vote for something to hurt them?
Right.
They're not going to do it. They make more money when they're not going to do that.
I saw where the Big Ten wants to have the conference champions buys. The Big Ten, when they were
theirs. No. The SEC, Big Ten do not. They want to go by the rankings. Both of them do, because they get more teams in. We got a caller?
You got to take a break.
Oh, I was saying, okay. We'll get back and finish a little bit of this if we can. Tommy Santa Monica with me, Jeremy Pridgeon, and the Wildcat himself. We want to talk about a great man. Tommy, you know this guy. We've had so many good times over there talking and meeting over there. We used to do a TV show over there. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno's the city commissioner. Guy does an incredible job of that. But his restaurant's second to none. They do a wonderful job. You go in there, they treat you like family. The customer service is the best you can get anywhere. They take a lot of pride in that restaurant. They have people that work there for a lot of years. The food's incredible. You'll never get a bad meal. I remember Julie, I went over the other day. They had a teacher work day. That place, you couldn't move. I think every teacher from Mosley High School was there, had teacher in service day, and they were all there. Great place, great atmosphere. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Havens. And Tommy, Jeremy, and I were down there. We had a great time. The historical downtown, local 115. We saw Judy. Judy. Don and then Jeremy texted one of the people in his church, and they about fainted. That was funny. That was awesome, man. I love that. But they are one of the few people that do the old-time salad bar. Mm-hmm. You know, you go make your own salad. You don't see that much anymore. I think they quit doing that during COVID. I'm glad they brought it back. Get down there. They got it's an oyster sports themed bar. They got oysters. They got crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer, nothing fried, healthier option, and try the Tommy Oliver draft beer. We think you'll like it. Local 115. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's that time of year again. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach presents the Spring Fling Juried Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 3 at Frank Brown Park Recreation Center. Donation is only $1 for adults. Sponsored by the Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach, a non-profit organization supporting charitable causes in Panama City Beach and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City. Are payment processing fees eating into your profits? With Bay County POS, local businesses are saving time and money with secure, seamless merchant services. Reduce credit card processing fees and save up to 3.9% on gross sales. From quick, contactless payments to detailed sales reporting, it's Bay County POS. For a free consultation, call 850-359-3906. Bay County POS. Local service, global standards.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Give him a call.
Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll. I say Allah, you say Bama. Allah. Bama. I say roll, you say tie. Roll. Tie. I say Bear, you say Bryant. Bear.
Bryant.
That's my old days, man. That's back in the old days.
I say Missouri,
fun.
you say Tiger.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals. If you have any problem tonight, tomorrow, it's going to be really... The wind chill is going to be crazy. But if you've got Stevenson Air Conditioning like we do, you have no problem. Jason, his stores, his house, no problem. They are number one at what they do. They're incredible. The most honest, hardworking people you'll have anywhere. And that's Jason Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Give them a call. Get it serviced about every 6 months. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Jeremy, we're talking about this, the power of the Big Ten, the SEC. Is that good or bad, though, really?
I think we're going to have almost a 1A situation again, like we had some time ago.
So and I'm with you. They're not going. They're going to take care of themselves, and you don't blame. I can't blame them.
No,
they're going to do it. It's just what it is. The strong, only the strong survive, and they're the strongest. Tommy, you think it's bad for college football just having the power to the SEC, Big Ten? I know you're an ACC guy. It's going to affect you guys. You're not going to make as much money. You're not going to be able to. Well, I think Florida State's going to be okay.
What was the purpose of them letting the SEC and Big Ten, because that's where the money is?
Yeah.
They do the contract. So, but then everybody's got to agree with what they. It's got to be unanimous.
If you don't, they'll just pull out. I mean, really, in 2026 they're going to get what they want. But what I was telling you both about 2025. They can't get what they want because beforehand they had made an agreement. Everybody's going to have to agree to change it in 2025. And 2026 is back up for debate. So I just don't see the Power Five. I don't see the ACC Big Ten saying, no, we want our conference champ in. We don't want to go by the rankings. So we'll have the mess we had this past year.
Yeah.
Who? Eddie. I don't want to talk to Eddie. We're doing Alabama Update. We ain't no listen to Michigan
That's
crap.
what his question was about, though.
Oh, okay. Well, don't tell him what I said. Good morning. Hello.
I heard what you said, Coach.
Oh, sorry.
You're very rude.
I'm
Go
sorry.
Hey, Mr. Santa Martin, hello, preacher. God bless you. Have a blessed day.
Good to hear your voice, buddy. It's been a while.
Big Eddie.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hey, what about your coach getting kicked out of technical foul and punching a clipboard and at the Show Me State and losing to Missouri? Talk about that, Coach.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Well, that clipboard paid the ultimate price last night. But it expressed every bit of frustration we all had watching that game.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you don't start fighting the other coach, you're all good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's been an interesting week in Alabama basketball. You could not have had any more build-up to Saturday in Tuscaloosa with Alabama, Auburn, in-state 1-2. And Auburn in a matter of a few seconds knocked Alabama out 9-0 ball game. And I said off air earlier, it looked like that Auburn beat Alabama again, this time wearing Missouri uniforms. I mean, it was 12-0, and Alabama looked shell-shocked, and it was over. Now, did they push back? 110-98. If you'd have told me Alabama's going to score 98 points tonight against Missouri, I felt pretty good. But to lose 110-98, just they played catch up the rest of the night and never could catch up. And so for the first time all year, Alabama's dealing with back-to-back losses and has to do some real kind of soul-searching here. I thought we were kind of through that window when Sears got benched and, had a little time there during Texas A&M. I thought we turned the corner. But there's a lot of basketball left in the very brutal SEC, and I think we saw it again last night where, one game in basketball, the one and done, it's win or go home type thing coming up here in a few weeks, and there's a lot of folks that can send others to the house.
Alabama shot 53% from the field.
53%.
You normally win.
Yeah.
But the only problem is they shot 60%.
Right.
So that was some
everything that went up went through the hoop.
That was some shooting going on in that game.
It was. I mean, you rarely see college basketball pushing triple digits for both teams.
Yeah.
That's an NBA thing.
I'm telling you.
Track meet. So.
Here's the thing, though. You don't want to start playing bad basketball right now because that'll carry over into your conference turn. And
that's right. And they've got to bounce back.
You need to write them down.
They've got the big game with Auburn on the return trip. Sometimes in sports, going on the road can actually let you be more focused. And I'm not saying that about last night. I think Alabama was still kind of hung over from Saturday. But, Auburn came into Tuscaloosa, and while Alabama had all the distractions and game day and all the hype and all the students waiting and, being in that environment, Auburn was just able to come in and play. And I'll be curious to see what Andy says about this in a little bit. But, it may be just the same for Alabama going into Auburn. It'll be hostile, and not saying they're going to win by any stretch. Getting a win at Neville Arena is a chore, but it can be done. You just have to be understand it's you against basically the world at that point.
Is Andy on Thursdays now versus Tuesdays?
Yeah, he's on at 8:15 today.
Yeah.
Why are you changing your lineup up, Coach?
Well, we did this a year ago. We hadn't heard from you in a while.
You got to clear it through me first.
Well, we tried to call you, get up with you, and you wouldn't answer the phone.
I think I had a valid excuse. Just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
But so Alabama will try to bounce back. The Cats from Kentucky come in, which is no small order. They did win in Lexington earlier this year. We get the return trip, so hopefully Alabama can get back in the winning ways.
We'll find out on February 22 when they play them again.
That's right. So, it was almost a football game when they played up in Lexington. I mean, that was brutal basketball. It was physical, kind of the same way on Saturday. So, there is another big basketball game going on tonight, though. It's the ladies' version of the third Saturday of October. And Alabama's ladies 21-5 heading up to Thompson Bowling Arena to play Tennessee. So it's a huge game for Alabama's ladies. They're rarely competitive at this level. You kind of mentioned FSU's ladies at, I think, 20-6. Yeah, Alabama's ladies with a chance to get a rare victory over the Lady Vols, who beat UConn earlier this year. They renewed that series. Alabama baseball 5-0. They swept a 3-game set against Bradley to open the year, and then had 2 midweek games. Took care of Middle Tennessee State, and then last night they beat the Hornets from Alabama State. Men from Montgomery traveled up. It was a 7-inning contest. Interesting weekend for Alabama baseball, though. They're going to be playing in Jacksonville at the Jumbo Shrimp Stadium. They've got a kind of one of those 4-team classics where NC State, Ohio State, and Coastal Carolina are all coming in and kind of playing a little round robin, which I think is kind of neat. Where instead of getting like a 3-game set with Bradley, now they're going to a neutral site, 1 game against different teams, which is a common practice in softball. These softball, you rarely see a weekend series unless you're in the conference. In the softball, they'll go to these big invitational tournaments, and Alabama did that last weekend in softball. Didn't have the outcome they wanted. Alabama's ladies went down to Clearwater, and that was a huge invitational tournament. But they came out with only 1 win over the course of the weekend. They dropped games to Oklahoma State. They dropped 1 to UCLA, dropped 1 to San Diego State, and got beat by Liberty 7-6. The only win they took in that 5 games in Clearwater was against Ohio State. So we at least scored a victory over the Big Ten, right, Eddie?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I think you'll celebrate a win over the Buckeyes, right? Okay.
And he did the week 7 Notre Dame, and then BYU can't stand that.
Can't stand them either.
Stand Army, can't stand Navy. Air Force plays Navy in North Carolina this weekend. They played Vandy a couple of days ago. They played them tough after having a pretty rough set against Florida. So looking for them to bounce back.
Right.
But, Michigan baseball beat UVA, number 2. In the Puerto Rico shootout. So Michigan's undefeated too, looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, and Alabama's ladies will be back at home for the first time all year. Virginia Tech, Southern Utah, Drake, all coming in to play. They'll play 5 games over the course of the weekend there. On the baseball side, Alabama's baseball, again, Dover and Jacksonville this weekend. So that's kind of what's going on up in Tuscaloosa. The winter sports will be pushing toward March Madness, and the spring sports are cranking up. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, Eddie's supposed to, if he heals up in time, he's got a prospect camp up in Tuscaloosa, like a little tournament deal, where a bunch of college coaches will be up there looking at the players and all that. So hopefully he'll be ready for that. And go up to Tuscaloosa, already booked the rooms and all that, so that should be fun. Actually, not doing a drive-by, but actually taking in Tuscaloosa and seeing the campus and all that.
Well, send us a picture from Dreamland.
Are they going to have the competition inside the indoor practice facility there?
For what?
Your sons.
It's baseball, Coach.
Oh, baseball. I thought you were talking football.
No, baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, this is baseball with his team. So
okay, I apologize. I wasn't listening to you.
Of course, you never listen.
Let me ask you this: what do you think about everything that's going on? Big Ten, SEC flexing their muscles. They're not going to be able to get it changed next year. Nobody's going to vote for it. But 2026, things are going to change. 14 teams, 4 automatic bids from the Big Ten, 4 from the SEC. We got to take a break. We're way over. Hey, we'll see you later, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm out.
Bye. Golly, he just going crazy back there on me. We'll be right back. You hurt my feelings.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
I was talking to a friend of mine today, Braxton, who's in SEC circles. He said, listen, never been better in basketball, which we understand. He said baseball is even better than basketball. How many? 4 of the top 5 are in the AP poll are from the SEC. Baseball is better.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a blustery wind out of the north at 16 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 14 miles per hour and be at freezing at 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Some sun Saturday with a temp of 59. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Billburn Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Billburn Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Billburn Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Billburn Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBurnKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per $1,000 financed in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billburn Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
You don't know what his problem is. But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, War Eagle. Live from the J. Michaels studio, it's the Auburn Update and the Coach James Hale Show with the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey! You know, James, no, not James Jenner, but the Seegers, they're up there. Steve.
Oh, yeah, they go.
They got season tickets to Auburn basketball.
They do. That's right.
And they don't share them very well. anyway, we got him on, the man, the myth, the legend, the voice of Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham. Andy, how you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm glad you decided to show up today, James.
Me too. Hey, I was. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you off air. I won't tell you on air. Before we get going, I got to ask you something.
Yes.
The big game last night. Well, we got to go back to Tuscaloosa. We got to talk about that one. History was made. It was the most watched college basketball ratings on ESPN all year. It was the second most watched basketball game all year. We're talking the state of Alabama, where we're known for football, but we're talking basketball. And everybody's a question, who's number one? Alabama was number one in the coaches poll. Auburn was number one AP. We found out who was number one. And I said it this Monday, and I'll say it again today. Disappointed. Everything was great. It was great for the state. It was great for the SEC. And I was disappointed when you hear on national TV and you got family that go to the games and stuff like that. You really can't even take your grandkids because they're more interested in F Auburn than winning a game. That bothers me. I think it's wrong by the Alabama people. I don't remember hearing that at Auburn, and maybe they do. I never heard it when I've been to those games there. But anyway, getting back to the game, what was it like at that game? Was that one of the loudest you've heard there? Auburn blew them out. Every time Alabama get close, Auburn, no problem. They just pull back away. Talk about the game and what you thought about the atmosphere and everything.
Well, it's a great atmosphere, James. It's the most I've ever seen at Coleman Coliseum. And I've been going there for 37 years. Now, a lot of that was women's basketball, and the crowds aren't nearly as big. And this wasn't the first really big Auburn-Alabama game that I've called in Tuscaloosa for men's basketball. But the history of it with number one versus number two, for the first time, isn't it amazing that was the first number one versus number two in any Auburn-Alabama rivalry, in any sport, and the first time in the Southeastern Conference as well, in SEC basketball, that it was number one versus number two. And there were 14,500 plus at Coleman Coliseum. It was a packed house. Students were there early. It was a really, really good atmosphere for basketball. And I thought the game lived up to the hype. I mean, it was a really good game. Auburn jumped out to a 9-0 lead. Had a really good start to the second half, led by 9 at the half. Had a really good start to the second half as well. And Alabama made its run, and we knew that the Crimson Tide would, and cut the lead, or tied the game twice. And each time that Alabama tied the game, Auburn came down and immediately hit a three. One by Jahad Pettiford, one by Chad Baker-Mazara. And Auburn ended up winning that ball game by 9. And just a huge win for Auburn. And then you fast forward to last night. And Auburn did not play particularly well. Arkansas came to town and executed its game plan. And Auburn gets out of there with a win. The head coach was not a happy man after the ball game, but Auburn won it. Alabama goes on the road and gives up 110 points at Missouri and falls 2 games behind Auburn in the Southeastern Conference standings. So Alabama and Florida now 2 games behind Auburn in the SEC standings with 5 games to play.
Yeah.
So it was a very good atmosphere. It was a fun game to be a part of. Chris Stewart and I talked before that game. Just, we felt fortunate that we were the guys that got to call that game.
Yeah.
Along with Jay Billis and Dan Schulman and the ESPN folks.
Yeah.
It's one of those where you walk out of there going, wow, am I blessed to get to do this for a living and get to call these games and to do it at this time.
Yeah.
With this Auburn basketball team. And now Auburn gets ready to host Georgia Saturday at 3:05. and then we'll close out this homestand next Wednesday against Ole Miss before it goes on back-to-back road games at Kentucky, where Auburn hasn't won since 1988.
Wow.
Let that one sink in for a minute.
Wow.
And then goes to Texas A&M before closing the regular season at home against Alabama.
Andy, I got to tell you, I was at a celebration for life. Neighbor had passed away, and we, we're at that and missed part of the game, but we could, as soon as I got in the car, I was listening to you call the game. You did a great job, by the way. And we finally got to a restaurant, and I had the phone. I can listen to it on my phone, and could watch it up there. And we got to see it, the second half of it and everything. But I do want to, because I'm just curious about this, because I heard the language, I heard the things being said. Are y'all safe when you call a game up there and that kind of? Do they more or less leave you alone? They got plenty, because y'all are right there in on the mix of all that. They got plenty of security around you guys.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the setup there or how we're treated. And I'll be honest with you, James, with the headsets on and just kind of concentrating on the ball game, I really didn't realize what was happening.
Wow. Okay.
With regard to what was being said.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it from others that were there and watched it and could hear it and could hear it coming through. But yeah, they take care of us there. They take care of us everywhere in the SEC. So
yeah, Andy, I grew up watching every Sunday. I'm older than you, watching Suge Jordan and Bear Bryant. We'd be out playing on Sundays. Everybody would head in because those two shows, and we would all, the Alabama Auburn fans, we would all watch both those shows. Both those coaches always talked about class, showing your class. Yeah. And it just kind of, Jerry, you know what I'm talking about. It just kind of made me feel bad. And to Iron Bowl, last time in Tuscaloosa, I heard it, and I was like, come on, you got kids, you got your grandkids, and then the basketball. I mean, it just makes you sick. I don't get it. Do you? I mean, does it bother you?
It's not necessary.
It really isn't.
No.
But anyway, getting back to, what do you think about Georgia? What kind of competition is this going to be?
Yeah, Auburn played Georgia earlier this season in Athens, and Georgia was ranked number 23 at the time, had not lost at home. Auburn went there without, Janai Broome was on the trip but did not play in the game. That was in the 2-game span where he was out with the ankle injury, the second of those games. And Auburn won by 2, and it came down to the final play of the game, a throw in for Alabama under its basket with under Georgia's basket with 0.3 seconds to go, that they had a chance and had a pretty good look to tie the game and send it to overtime. Auburn got a really good performance off the bench from Jaheim Hudson, and won that ball game in Athens in front of a sold-out crowd at Segment Coliseum. So it's a different Auburn team, I think, that Georgia will face on Saturday. And Georgia's a team right now that's trying to play its way into the NCAA tournament. So I think there's a bit of desperation, a sense of urgency is a better way to put it. That sounds better for this Georgia ball club coming in here on Saturday. Newell, their inside freshman's a really good player. That's going to be an interesting matchup between he, as a true freshman, and Janai Broome, who's going to be the SEC Player of the Year for Auburn. So it's going to be a fascinating matchup on Saturday, and it will be another sellout. It will be the 68th consecutive sellout at Neville Arena, and I look forward to it Saturday afternoon at 3:05. We'll have broadcast 2:30 right here.
Right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I can't believe the numbers were incredible. I got it right here in front of me now. 3.5 million peaked, the most watched game on ESPN the entire year. Average across the board, 2.8 million. The second most watched game this year, the Iron Bowl of basketball in the great state of Alabama. Incredible. Hey,
let me take that one. Let me take that one step further, James, if I can, real quick.
Yeah.
If you look across the landscape of basketball in the state of Alabama, you've got Auburn and Alabama that are top 5 teams. Jacksonville State is in first place in its league. South Alabama played for first place last night. Stanford's going to be an NCAA tournament team. UAB is looking to be an NCAA tournament team. Alabama Huntsville is a Division II team that I think has won 20-some games in a row. So there is great basketball being played from the mountains of this state all the way to the Gulf Coast of this state as well. And Troy is a really good ball club. So there's a lot of good basketball being played in the state, in the heart of college football country right now.
Well, Andy, I don't know if it's fair to ask you this, but I do want to hit on just for a second. And I know you're tied up with basketball. I know that. But Auburn baseball team, they look like they're going to be pretty good. Of course, the SEC is so competitive. It's crazy. Look at the SEC, football, baseball, basketball, softball. It's unbelievable how tough this league is. But baseball, what do you think about this team? What are you hearing? Are they going to be pretty good? What's the word on baseball?
Auburn's 4-1 right now, won midweek games against Troy and then North Alabama yesterday. And I don't think the head coach is real thrilled with the way Auburn has played at the start of this season, frankly. I think he sees a great potential in this team and wants to see this team, I think, play with a little more passion and be more consistent. We'll talk, by the way, with Butch Thompson tonight on Tiger Talk at 6 on the Auburn Sports Network. So we'll get his thoughts. Auburn plays host to Wright State this weekend. Game times are 2:30, noon, and 1 because of the cold weather that's blowing through the area. It's 28 degrees here today, matter of fact. We'll get a better feel from Butch tonight. But Auburn's off to a decent start, 4-1 of the season. Got some really good pitching in the midweek and gets ready to play Wright State this weekend.
Hey, Andy, Jeremy mentioned Auburn baseball. Of course, the entire nation was captivated by the events that unfolded on Friday. Cade Blue, with the loss of his mother that morning, and calling Coach Thompson to say his mama would want him to play, and then he gets up in the sixth inning and goes deep in the win against Holy Cross, and called the most inspirational thing that Coach Thompson has seen in his entire coaching career. Obviously, the sports gives us moments that are even bigger than the game, and it seems like one of those moments that could really propel this entire squad to something special that these young men have had to deal with, and they've rallied around their teammate.
Yeah, it's an interesting story because his mom had been battling cancer for about 5 years and passed away last Friday morning. And Cade called Butch to tell him about his mother's passing and tell him that he wanted to play. And Butch took it one step further and called Cade's father, who's an Auburn City policeman, and to make sure. And his father said, his mama wanted him to play. And then Cade went out and had a base hit in his first at bat and then hit that home run. So a big win for Auburn and an incredible inspiration story. Cade's off to a terrific start. Guys, I got to run.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on, Andy. War Eagle.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. War Eagle.
War Eagle, the one and only Andy Burcham. We got time to do a commercial. We got to go. We all can do one. Thank you so much. Get out to the legendary J. Michael's restaurant today. Have a great meal. Maybe Glenn will be there. Maybe Glenn will pay for it. I'm not sure. The legendary J. Michael's. I do know this. Chuck Tucker's an incredible man. He started a company. They've expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. It's called South Oak Title and Closing. For all your real estate closing, South Oak Title and Closing, #1. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Not even close. Anytime, day or night, they're there for you. It's going to be cold. It's cold now. It's going to be incredibly cold tomorrow. If you're having problems now, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. See if they can get out there and help you out. Don't freeze. Don't let your power bill go through the roof. You got Stevenson Air Conditioning. Also, Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. I love Pat. He's such a wonderful man. Get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Have a great meal today. And we'll be right back. We have a legend that just walked in here. The one and only doctor. Yes, he does have his doctorate. Dr. Glenn Gene Manley. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
This is the first year that I've actually kind of felt old. When you're young, your parents say, "Oh, I know the rain's coming," or your grandparents, I can tell that the rain's coming because my bones are hurting.
Oh, yeah.
This morning at about 4 o'clock, I woke up out of nowhere and I'm like, what is this feeling? And then in about an hour, all hell breaks loose and it's foreign cats and dogs out there.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call now, 850-583-0814. With empty pockets and an entrepreneurial mindset, Nate Bombach and his family took a chance and moved to Panama City Beach to build their American dream. Now a dream come true, Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair offers Panama City a breath of fresh air with honest service matched with masterful skills in construction. From small repairs to large commercial jobs, Marinate Construction and Stucco gives every customer what they deserve, the best. Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair, 850-387-9851.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers. Andy Bertram does such a wonderful job. Well, we were talking earlier about the SEC Big Ten power brokers going to change things the way they want it. I do think it'll happen in 2026. Now, here's the problem now. If they go to a 9 teams, you got to play 9 teams in the SEC. So what would be for Alabama? You'd have 3 teams you will always play. You rotate 6. We already know who Alabama will. I'll be shocked if this doesn't happen. You'd have Alabama playing Tennessee, Auburn, and LSU every year.
And I don't like the LSU game. We need to play the Mississippi State game.
Mississippi State, we played them more than anybody else. I agree with that because we need an easier opponent. All right, Auburn, they would have Alabama, Georgia. Who's the third for Auburn? Would it be Florida? Go back to Florida?
I'd let them pick up the Florida game again.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a tradition.
Yep.
Now, they're going to make you play a Big Ten school. Alabama's already got a home and home, Wisconsin, Ohio State. So you got 9 tough games. Now you got to throw in another good team from the Big Ten. You got 10 tough games.
I'll take Indiana.
Yeah. But listen to this.
Rutgers.
If you're Florida, if you're South Carolina, and if you're Georgia, you're kind of screwed. Now you got 9 SEC games. You got a Big Ten team you got to have to play, and then if you're Florida, at the end of the year, you get rewarded by playing FSU. If you're Georgia, you got Georgia Tech. I'm gonna tell you what. This come up year, Georgia Tech's going to be good. They got a coach. They got money. If they want to have a good team, they got the money to do it.
Georgia Tech should have beaten Georgia this year.
It sure should have. South Carolina's got Clemson. So you got 11 games on your schedule for those 3. The other ones can get 2 cupcakes. Georgia, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. There are no cupcakes. You get 1. I don't know. I don't know if I want this or not.
I don't think it'll happen precisely because of that. Because if you had the old SEC East, many of those have ACC crossovers. I mean, Kentucky, Louisville is one you didn't mention. That another ACC team, Clemson, South Carolina. Yeah. So
there was a reason.
Yeah, it's too impossible. It's not possible to make that work schedule wise with the number of games that teams want to play at home for revenue. These municipalities really depend on those game days. I mean, Tuscaloosa, how much money City Tuscaloosa get on a game day Saturday?
Jeremy, you're making a great point there because the Big Ten's not going to have coming into the SEC. It's going to be home and home.
Right.
So you're right. Those other 4 cupcakes were home games.
Home games. They're bye games.
Right. Yeah. So, but the network wants this. I don't know. I'm not saying it won't happen. Let's take this phone call. Maybe this guy has the answer for everything.
You know, Clemson this year bowed out of the South Carolina game. They were going to play on their traditional time, and so they gave them 11 o'clock because they didn't want to play on Friday night.
Yep.
That's right. I remember. That's right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is the exact conversation that I was going to call in about, because Yankee or Spanky or whatever his name is going to screw everything up, get old, retired, and then leave everybody else with the mess. And I'm glad Jeremy is there to look at this from the outside with some common sense.
Yeah, but they won't elect him to be the commissioner.
Hang the phone up.
Because you also have Tennessee that's got a non-conference game at the end of the year. Don't they play Wake Forest at the end of the year?
No.
No, the last game is Vanderbilt.
They always play Vandy last
Is it
game.
Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Okay, they
Yeah.
play. But you got all these cross-conference teams. You know, leave it at 8 teams, and that's fine. But the other problem that you've got, you know, with when you start giving the two biggest conference their four automatic bids, then your conference championship means nothing anymore. So therefore, it's going to change the whole way these teams play into their conference.
That's a great point.
To win the conference, you know, and that is going to make the whole. You know, do you set yourself that you're going to try and win your conference, or are you going to set yourself? All I got to do is be in the top 4. Yeah. Well, then if Alabama becomes, you know, number 5, what are they going to do? Change it and make it 6 teams each get, you know, an automatic bid because of the Alabama conference, you know, the way they keep setting it up.
Yeah, and the word on the street is they go to 14, SEC, Big Ten get 4 automatics. If it goes to 16, they want 5. And they still can get another one in because the way it's set up. They want the rank. The rankings are going to count. They're going to throw away. And I was never for the Big 12, ACC, at large getting an automatic bye. I thought that was wrong. You picked the best ones.
Here's my thing. Everybody just make it all about who's ranked. Of course, there again, now you've got humans making that decision. How's ranked from number 1 to number 12 or 25 or whatever, the coaches poll and everything else. It was better when it was a computer. At least everybody kind of said, well, you know what? This is really the way it should be.
It's hard to kill a computer.
I think Elon Musk should figure it out.
I do too. Let Trump.
Amen.
No, actually, if they would hire Glenn and I, we wouldn't have any more problems.
Oh, yeah.
We'd get this thing
They'd
straightened
be
out.
knocking on the door.
Right. And, you know, when you start talking about this, and somebody was mentioning it on one of the bigger networks last night, they were talking about, really, if you're ranked high early in the year, well, you got to lose 2 or 3 games before you ever even get knocked out of the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so if you're ranked in the top 4 or 5 to be, 4 or 5 early in the year when you haven't even played anybody.
Right.
You know, you could lose 2 games and then go, well, you know, they're still right there hanging on at number 10. You know, how long did it take FSU to get knocked all the way out? You know, it took them their 3rd loss.
Yeah.
Last year.
That is true.
Well, actually, their 3rd loss, 4 games before they got. Well, gosh, they can't beat themselves out of wet paper sack. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, don't fix something that ain't broke, and that's my thing. College football has been the biggest thing ever, and now we're gonna go in here and mess it all up.
Yeah.
And nobody's even addressing.
I think they already.
Nobody's even addressing the real problem. The real problem is the portal, you know, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody's even talking about that.
Rob, if they'd have kept it like it used to be, if you transfer out, you leave, you sit for a year. They should have never let that gone away. I don't see how they. I don't know what was a lawsuit that did it. I don't know what did it. I think that's wrong. You made a commitment. You put your name on the paper. You honor your commitment. And that we don't teach these people anything anymore.
Well, let me say this. Everybody that's in that portal is not a student athlete anymore.
No.
There's no way anybody that's been to college knows how your credits are, what transfers, what doesn't transfer. There's no way you can leave one university in the middle of a semester and go and enroll in another university in the middle of the semester and transfer all your credits and stuff.
Exactly.
Am I?
You're exactly right.
Is that not true?
Well,
I mean,
You're knocking it out of the ballpark.
Well, if you go from a semester school to a quarter school,
yeah,
right,
or vice versa, you got.
And some schools don't accept.
Right.
They don't care about that.
It's all about money.
Yeah,
Everything's
right. Exactly.
And Jeremy, I got to go back to Jeremy. Not so fast, my friend. The Big Ten's already doing it. They're already playing 9 games.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so it's not.
That's right.
One year you're going to have more one game. One year you'll have an extra home game. The next following year you won't. If they add the SEC to, they got 2 cupcakes they can schedule. They add the SEC, they're even worse shape than we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what about this? What about if we just make a minor league football league, make it a minor league, let everybody that doesn't want to go to college and get an education go play in that? Huh? Isn't that what the USFL is? Excuse me.
Yeah,
well,
right.
But name me a Big Ten school that has a non-conference annual opponent.
I mean,
Yeah,
the USFL has what, 12 people at every game?
you don't have that. You don't have that matchup like a.
Ohio State's got Akron.
Oh yeah, I forgot that big Akron zip there.
All right, Rob, we got to take a break. You're going to hang on. You got to go.
I understand, guys. Great. I just wanted to ruffle your feathers this morning. Talk to you later.
You did a good job of it.
Bye.
Bye, Rob. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful, outstanding people. Turpro Pest Control. You want that yard to look beautiful? It can happen. Call Patrick. He'll come out. Your yard will be perfect. You won't have to worry about pests anymore either. Great job, Turpro Pest Control. He'll be here every Monday at 8:30. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Pizza. Never take Glenn Manley. Tommy, Louise, Julie, and I went. We had a great meal. Remember, John brought us a big old tray.
I do.
We look up. Glenn's walking out the door with a tray. Am I lying? He took the entire tray home.
It was a tray of actually meatballs. Who he said, "Here, take these." I went, okay.
He did. Anyway, the food's incredible. Go check it out. I'm telling you though, try the Paradise Cake. You'll love it. Paparazzi Pizza on Thomas Drive. You will love it. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. You can listen to him every Wednesday, 7:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. Tommy, Glenn, Jeremy, Wildcat. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a blustery wind out of the north at 16 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 14 miles per hour and be at freezing at 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Some sun Saturday with a temp of 59. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Billburn Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Billburn Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Billburn Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Billburn Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBurnKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $17.48 per month per 1,000 finance in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billburn Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
If you got got more A's on your truck than you did in high school, you might be a Bama fan. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of Michigan Eddie. He doesn't call but once. He calls several times. He's very negative, but he's directly to the point. He doesn't like anybody. Good morning, Michigan Eddie. How you doing?
Coach Rex here's getting ready to go to Dutch appointment. I forgot to say this. You got a big game Saturday, Friday. You got Michigan State at East Lansing for our basketball. Actually, no, it's at Michigan, by the way, on Friday at 7 on Fox. 14 Michigan State versus number 12 Michigan. Michigan's on a roll. Just took down Purdue and took down Ohio State. But the big game is tonight. What is it, Coach? Preacher?
Is it
Coach
soccer?
What game is it?
Soccer.
We got bingo tonight. We got a bingo game being played at Doobies.
What's the biggest game tonight, man?
Alabama's ladies at Tennessee.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys really are from the South, man. You guys really are from the South.
It must be hockey or something.
Team USA and Canada championship of the Four Nations Cup, man.
Oh, I did see the 3 fights in 9 seconds.
Yeah, we don't believe in violence here on ESPN. We don't watch that.
But here's the thing about hockey. You know, they did do a good job. I saw a hockey game break out in the middle of a fight, so that was good.
Yeah, that's about it. Hey, I got to ask you something.
That's old school hockey, man.
I know it.
Bringing the fights and all that.
You should have seen the goalies without the mask. They were all scarred up. You knew who the goalie was at all times.
Michigan, I got to ask you a serious question.
Talk back with the wing.
Hey, a serious question. People want to know this. You know, the Big Ten, they're already doing it. They play 9 conference games like a man does. We only play 8. And we're saying we don't want to play 9. We want to keep it like that for a lot of different reasons. We can schedule 4 cupcakes, but if you're Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, you can't because you got the big rival games at the end of the year. You guys are playing 9. You lose I guess you lose a game when every other year you get an extra home game. A lot of money being made. And in the great state of Alabama, how much does Alabama make on a home game?
$17.5 million. No, city of Tuscaloosa.
Makes $17.5 every time Alabama plays. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to lose that game. We don't want to lose that and have to travel away. We want to keep those extra games. But the Big Ten is they want us to be just like them, and I get it. They want the SEC to play 9 conference games like the Big Ten does. They want automatic guarantees that if they go to 14 teams, that Big Ten and SEC both will get 4 teams automatically put in there by the committee. No automatic bids for a conference championship from the MAC or from wherever, ACC, Big 12, or anything like that. What do you think? Do you think the SEC should be made to play 9 conference games?
I think it should be, well, most big conferences have at least 10, 12 schools, right?
Yeah.
So they should, all of them, if they're governed by the NCAA fake news, hypocrisy, bullcrap organization, they should all play the same amount of conference games. Because it's not right. The SEC plays 8, Big Ten plays 9, then you're playing Jacksonville State or Podunk U, like usually Alabama does. And when was the last time Florida actually traveled out of state for an out-of-conference game? I mean, until recently. It was a long time where they wouldn't leave the state of Florida to play a non-conference game unless it was a bowl game. That was a big knock on the Gators. Until recently, where they're finally now leaving. They went out and played Michigan, I think in Dallas one year, where we beat them.
Well,
and all that.
They had to go play the big city of 2-egg one time, I remember. So
it's just, but here's the thing too. SEC needs to get a good media deal like the Big Ten got. Who's got the better media deal?
Big Ten.
Big Ten, right?
Not even close. I always complain about that.
So not everything means more than the SEC, coach and preacher. The Big Ten knows more. We're smarter. Engineering, medicine, athletics, everything Big Ten's better. It means more in the Big Ten, bro.
Just stay.
And we sell out our stadiums versus directional schools, where if you go to an SEC school and you're playing Podunk U, there's barely like 20, 30,000 people there.
Oh, my God.
Look at
my God.
Here's another Yankee coming down to tell us how to do things.
Here we go. Here we go.
Come on.
And they didn't cheat.
How many
Michigan never
people-
cheated.
The Big House sells out every home game. Big House sells out every home game.
Yeah, you don't come down here and tell us how to do stuff. Stay back up there.
Wildcat says Connor Stallion's on the line.
Dude,
Hey, we got another caller. He wants to talk about his cheating. How do you cheat and survive in the Big Ten?
Dude, everyone is stealing signals, Coach. Preacher, come on, man. You're the man of the cloth. You know everyone's doing it. Anyway,
but you can only poke the bear so many times.
So
I get poked every time I'm on this show. And now I'm giving some back.
That's because you're such a good pincushion.
Yeah, really.
I do have to give props to Michigan. Michigan has.
They own us.
Well, they have 2 wins over
Ohio
Alabama
State.
in 1 calendar year.
And they beat Ohio State.
But
national champs.
But Michigan has more wins over Alabama in 1 calendar year than Georgia has in the last 15.
That's true. That is true. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, one of them shouldn't count because they had fake signals and stuff.
All right. Well, we're tired of talking to you now that you said all that.
Actually, that had already come out, so that's a moot point. The Rose Bowl. We beat you guys. That was a moot point. We beat you guys in the Rose Bowl.
And the
Awesome.
and the ReliaQuest Bowl. Yeah, that was.
Well, here's the question too. Jalen Milroe's stock is going down. I was reading something about that they were not impressed at all with him. He's erratic.
Did you see
he's
the
a very nice kid?
Did you see the practice for the Pro Bowl or the Senior Bowl where he dropped the snap and basically recovered his fumble and then threw an interception on the same play?
I saw that.
You know what? This proves a fact. I always tell my players, you hang around, you become what you hang around with. Jeremy, you're a very positive young man. You've been listening to him for 5 minutes. He's already changed you. You started to say negative things about an Alabama player. Michigan, we can't have you on here. I mean, you ruined things.
The family actually met Jalen Milroe last year in Houston because he's from Katy. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Real nice guy.
Well, we'll tell him what you said about him.
All that.
Yeah. All right, Michigan. Hey, guess what?
Nothing bad about him. I just said his stock's going down, and I can't believe that because I think he is a good quarterback. I mean, he's not perfect.
Let me tell you something. We don't listen to Big Ten. We don't listen to anybody. The SEC does what it wants. If we want to play 8, we'll play 8. If y'all don't like it, too bad.
Yeah, and you'll give free crimson and white automobiles to your recruits, too. I heard that, too, my intel from Tuscaloosa. True intel. Back in the day, just saying.
True intel. Ooh. That's hard to get.
Not fake news.
Wait a minute now.
We don't talk about the past. We're worried about the future.
That's right.
Of course you don't. Of course. When it comes to SEC and
how much time we got? Hey, we got to go. We're on a break right now. We're out. Hey, thanks for listening today. Appreciate you turning in. We're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is sponsored to be brought to you by. Did he hang up?
No, it's
still here.
He's still.
I ain't stupid. Bro.
Any way we can cut the line, do something, get him off? Oh boy. Hey, we got to go. We got to talk about some other stuff besides you.
All right, you guys. Love you guys. See
Bye.
You.
Bye.
Later. Go.
Tommy, thank you so much for being here. This is better when you're here.
It is.
You know, it is. You gonna be here next Thursday?
Tommy brings the calm.
Satsuma, Florida.
You come once a month. You know what? That check is going to be cut in half. You don't start coming more.
Yeah, half and nothing. Satsuma, Florida. You know where that is? Satsuma.
Yeah, don't be going having a something. You remember last time you went fishing down there? What happened?
I know.
Don't do that.
Going to the same place.
Jeremy, what's going down in the church?
We've got the Wild Game Dinner coming up on Friday, March 7th for all you hunting enthusiasts and wild game aficionados. Come down and get all kinds of elk, deer, quail, who knows what.
How can they purchase tickets?
Purchase tickets, individual tickets, get those online there. But check us out on Facebook at First United Methodist Panama City. You can find all the information there.
Do they go to 9 games? You think it's going to happen?
No. It's too hard.
It's not going to make a difference, is it? I don't see a difference it's going to make.
How
if
hard
you're going to get the top 4
10?
teams, Alabama, Georgia,
Florida, LSU, all you're going to be in anyway.
But what I'm saying is, how hard is the Big Ten going to fight back? They really want us playing non-conference games. They want everybody to be on the same page.
It's impossible with these crossover games. And then look, there's also the economics of this where Southern Mississippi depends on playing some SEC school each year to level the budgets out.
Yeah, I hope.
That's the model.
We're good in baseball. All right, thank you guys for listening today. We're out, 104.3. Glenn, thank you for showing up.
Sure.
A little bit late, but you're here. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, push it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bringing you the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys